and welcome to Morning Coffee with Fazan Academy. I'm Deanna, and today I thought I would do a little video up for National Cat Day. Yes, National Cat Day is on October 29th. And so today I thought I would talk about some historic elements of our feline friends, the domesticated cat. And in order to approach the subject, we need to go back in history about 4,000 years to the ancient Egyptians. And they worshipped a goddess named Bastet, who was a cat goddess, and she was in charge of making sure that nothing bad came into the home, such as disease, evil spirits. And so she was the goddess of the home and particularly guarded over women and children, and so is also thought to be the goddess over childbirth and make sure that the kids didn't get sick and things like that. And why did the Egyptians have cats to begin with? Why did they revere cats? We know in a lot of traditions, cats are considered to be evil, and we'll talk about that in a little bit, but they were really, really revered in ancient Egypt. So much so that people had them as pets. They mummified cats, and there are so many cat mummies, and that would be done to honor Bastet. Part of the reason was that cats are great for vermin. And if you've ever lived on a farm or out in the country, you know the term barn cats. And we still use them today to keep mice out of the barns. And even some people have them to keep mice out of the house. And that's really what started, is that they are great for getting rid of critters that you don't want to share a house with. And so because of this, over time, with the Egyptian religion as it expanded and became more complex, this cat goddess really became part of the domestic sphere. And in ancient Egypt, unlike a lot of other ancient civilizations, the family and family life and home life was really, really important. Both men and women had a lot of value. Now, in a lot of ancient societies, women don't have as much value as men, but they did in ancient Egypt. The only thing that women couldn't do in ancient Egypt was to be pharaoh, and even a few of them, women such as Hatshepsut, got around that, and she was pharaoh. And so what we have is this amazing civilization, and they really wanted to protect that domestic sphere. So they brought cats into the homes, and they had them as pets, and they would have mummified cats around as well as a way to honor Bastet. Now, what's interesting about the mummified cats, and since we're close to Halloween, I can share this with you. Hopefully it's not too creepy. The people that were making these mummified cats to sell to families to have as sort of to honor the goddess Bastet, in the modern world, we've x-rayed them, and we found that the entire cat isn't in there. Sometimes it's just like an arm bone of a cat in this mummy bundle, and it's packaged with some straw and some grasses and things like that, and then they would sell them. So they're selling these mummified cats, but they're not really fully mummified. So it's really interesting. So there was this whole cottage industry in ancient Egypt to make these cats so people would have them to protect their home. But like in the modern day, you know, killing a lot of cats, maybe it's a little more expensive. Maybe mummifying all those cats is kind of costly because of the salts that are required or the linen that's required. And so we have this whole amazing history from ancient Egypt. Now let's fast forward a little bit. And we know that cats are mentioned in some biblical texts, not a lot, but they're associated with bad things. And so I think that's why we have in the Middle Ages, cats are seen as really bad. Now there were witches, and these witches were actually people that were trying to hold on to their traditional beliefs. The traditional beliefs were often people who would worship out in nature and try to pray to the gods to help control nature, to make sure that there weren't floods or things like that, make sure they would have a good harvest. And so they often would have cats around them. And so that's how we have cats associated with witches. And even in America, in colonial America, with the Salem witch trials, people would use cats. So if a cat came up to somebody or was like friendly to somebody, they saw that as a sign that somebody was a witch. And so that's how we get the association of cats and witches. And all of this goes back to the fact that a lot of traditions see cats as evil or sort of guardians of bad spirits or bad things that happen. Even the Celts believed that cats were actually bad people who had done really bad things and came back as a cat as sort of their punishment. And so cats were these sort of evil creatures. They were the harbingers of bad things. But those of us in the modern world who love cats, we know better than this. And we may keep them in our home to keep out vermin or to have as company, particularly on a rainy day when you're just sitting around reading a book. It's nice to have a cat on your lap. Thanks for watching. I hope you learned something about cats. If you have any great cat stories to share, we would love to hear from you in the comments below. And if you like what we're doing, please share this video, subscribe to our channel, hit that bell so you get notifications. And we also have links to our other social media accounts in the description below. With that, I'm going to take my cat mug. I'm off to work, and have a great day.